It's not your typical love story. It was a wheelchair that set us up. It's still a bit of a mystery as to why I'm unable to walk. I received a brain injury in which 2 days after the brain injury, I was struggling to walk and just kind of progressed over the next 2 years from cane to walker to wheelchair. Then dystonic spasms began, and 2 years later my seizures began.
I became a double amp about 1 year following kidney transplant. I had circulation issues, a result of 40 years of being a type 1 diabetic, and that caused the need for amputation. I needed a wheelchair. You don't just get amputated and get handed a pair of feet and go, here you go. I was using a demo chair, and I do remember having to give up the chair on occasion to someone else in Kelowna.
We were both wheelchair shopping at the same time. At that point in time, I was still performing at literary events and such, so I would ask for the chair to go to the event, and they would go get it in Kamloops and bring it to me. So when I saw the red spokes on his chair, I went up to him and said, "Hey, you're the guy who kept stealing my chair."
There was a connection. There's something more that's going to happen here, is what I felt.
You know, I'd been married before, but I was like vowed spinster for the rest of my life, did not want a relationship whatsoever. And I'm like, decided I wasn't gonna like this guy because I was told he was a brand new amputee, but he had a really good attitude about it. And I felt like there was this pressure that if you're disabled, you have to be positive. You know, you have to like it. And to be what we sometimes call super crips, where you're the Paralympian who's super buff, or, you know, the really brave activist. And I wasn't sure where I was gonna fit in with all of that. So I thought, I don't wanna meet this guy with a good attitude. You know, like, I have a bad attitude, and I'm allowed to. Because there is a huge change and adjustment and grieving process. But then I realized I'd gotten a story published or an award won or something like that. And he was the first person I wanted to tell. And then I was also really sad about something, and he was the first person I wanted to tell. So I went, oh no, I think I fell in love.
I'm really grateful for that wheelchair.
So we originally planned on moving to Victoria together, which didn't work out either financially or accessibility-wise. We couldn't find an accessible home. And we had 5 days there, so we thought, well, let's just explore the island. And we just came across Chemainus, and I thought, what a cute little place. But then we started to notice there were ramps to almost every store. There was nowhere that I couldn't go in my wheelchair. And that felt like Disneyland to me. We noticed that it's hard to find accessible consignment and even thrift stores. But most disabled people live on very tight incomes, you know, well below the poverty line. So here we are needing to shop in these stores, but we can't get into them physically. So that was one of the things that we felt the town was missing, was a consignment store that's accessible. We named it Clover Clothing partly because Hal really liked how it sounded. When you come into a consignment store, you're always looking for, you know, that lucky find, we call it. But right before this, somebody had said to us, "You're the unluckiest couple I've ever met." And we were like, we're so lucky. Like, we're lucky we found each other. We don't feel sad about our lives. You know, I'm not sad I'm in a wheelchair. I'm sad that places aren't accessible. I'm sad at the way the world perceives us. I'm sad that we have to, you know, scrape by because there's not enough help for the government. There's lots of things that make me sad, but being in a wheelchair isn't one of them.
From day one, I've always been the lucky one. I don't think I was in necessarily a great spot. I was overcompensating with that gusto and that I'm super positive and super grip kind of thing. I can handle this. And life just worked a little better, you know, from the moment I met her.
We both became disabled at almost the exact same time. And we were struggling to adapt to a world that just was not designed for us. It doesn't have us in mind. It's very isolating, and I felt if nobody cared about my absence, they don't care about my presence. We had to figure it out together. There were things that we weren't able to do anymore, and now we can look at that as a challenge, and now we can go, there's always a way to do things, it's just different.
Having a disabled as a caregiver does work, and there's a far greater compassion and understanding from another disabled. There have been difficult times. We've been through an incredible amount, and we've accomplished an incredible amount. And I am so lucky that I have her to do it with.